Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Fidelis here. What's going on? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. What's up? What's happening? So, today, I want to talk about willingness. Okay? Willingness. Your ability to be able to pursue something, that passion, that just the want, just that the will to believe in yourself, for example, the will to do something, okay? So that's what I want to talk about. What's up? What's going on? Greetings. It's lunchtime. I drink tea for lunch usually, It's my thing. So listen up. What's happening? What's going on your side of town? How are you today? Talk to me, people. Today I want to talk about willingness, So I've been having conversations. And this is particularly, I want to send this to that kid that grew up like me. To somebody out there that is not seeing, the good in themselves, for example, or is not seeing the future, or is distracted, or is confused, or is just not there yet, okay? So, you have the power to manifest what it is that you want, provided you have the right intentions. Because it starts with that wishfulness, the intentions to know what it is that you want. You have to invite it. You have to wish for it. Have you ever wished for something and you want it so bad, and then you really go out and you work hard and you actually achieve it? It starts with that wishfulness, that intentions, the thought process to manifest it. You believe. That asking, you ask and it shall be given, if you're confused. The same way as asking for directions when you're getting lost. There are no fears when you're asking for directions when you're getting lost. But why is it so that there are so many people loitering around, walking around, not knowing what it is they want to do with their lives, but they're not asking for directions in that aspect? When are you going to arrive to a point of asking for direction? The willingness, that will for you to get out of your own way to say, let me find out. That curiosity, the intentions. You have to be intentional with what it is that you want, the good life for you, for example. To even work hard to achieve those dreams that you intentionally want for yourself, because it's possible. You can bring about that invitation, but it's not easy. It's not easy because willingness without awareness becomes so difficult. Willingness without intentions becomes misleading. So where are you with all of this? If you pay attention to your intentions, and your intentions are always good, and you're passionate about them, and you believe in those intentions, right? You are going to start noticing that your mind is leading you towards change. You see, the most challenging thing of it all is the mind. The mind will distract you because the mind will only teach you about the secondary, not the primary. Do not think for one that you fully know who you are because of how you allow your mind to mislead you. No, you don't. The mind can get destructive sometimes. The mind can make you wander everywhere, and then you assume that that's who you are when you're not. Okay? But the willingness to forgive. Where are you with all of this? Why are people having a hard time forgiving? Do you know that when you forgive, the better it is for you? Remember, what you put out is what you get back. If you constantly put out love, you are going to be filled with love in abundance. If you're putting out hate, that's all your life is going to be, nothing but hate. The willingness. What are you willing to do to change your life? What are you willing to do? You see, with so much that's going on around right now, especially even in our country, but also around the world, people are having challenges even with the willingness to have conversations. And it really is that simple. The whole of the misunderstanding that's going on right now is all because of lack of understanding. There are no conversations had. People are not willing to have conversations. But it goes as far as if you're not willing to do anything, if you're not willing to pursue your dreams, you're not willing to have conversations, you're not willing to be intentional, you're not willing to love yourself, you're not willing to even understand and know who you are as a human being, you're not willing to understand your culture, so then you know what barriers within that culture are misleading and which ones are directive. You know, you're not willing to learn. You are not willing to just take a minute to stay patient enough and breathe in silence. You know, you're not willing to even pay attention to your silence so you can listen into the universe. You know, so you don't know what it is that you want out of life, but you're constantly working too much, too hard. Your mind is racing. Then you catch yourself every year wondering, what's going on? Where am I? Well, you're not quiet. You're too loud. You know, it's like having a conversation with yourself while in the club. Loud music everywhere. You know, how are you going to listen in? Now, I've had conversations about this too, where people come up with challenging questions like, what do you mean? How are you supposed to do this or that? You know? So, but I always give examples in terms of what I know. I coach soccer, football, you know? But like soccer, I coach kids, you know, I've coached all the way from U9, 7-year-olds actually, all the way to like 30-year-olds I've coached. Okay? So, you know, with a semi-pro team. So anyway, so with that, you're always teaching people how to utilize their feet. You learn how to use your legs. You learn how to manipulate. You know, but guess what? Even with your hands, you know, there are instances where you're forced to utilize your left hand. You know, by the way, I grew up using my left hand to write. But growing up in Africa, I was keen into using my right hand. I don't know what's up with all of that, but that's another different story. But the point of this is this. If you can teach yourself to use your feet, use your one hand in comparison to the other, you are not going to tell me that you cannot teach your mind to be intentional, to manifest, to be willing, you know, to want good for yourself. You know, but it does not matter. It does not matter who says what about you. It does not matter who abuses you. It does not matter who says what kind of words. They are nothing but words. What matters and that what's much more powerful than anything else is your willingness. Your willingness to understand you. Your willingness to understand and comprehend your dreams. Your willingness to understand your goals. Your willingness to wake up and even pursue those goals. Your willingness to have conversations. Your willingness to seek guidance. Your willingness to seek understanding. You know? But guess what? Understanding is not going to come without you willing to either have conversations with yourself. The self-interview, we talked about that when we first started this year, okay? Or having conversations with other people, or seeking guidance or solutions, which all come about having conversations, because it's all about words, exchange of words or whatnot. Or reading a book or watching a video. That willingness is what I refer to. You know, to have the willingness to be able to train your brain to always think positive. Always think positive. That the moment your mind starts dividing you, taking you to the negative thought process, you quickly must guide it back to positivity. Do you know that you have the capacity to do that? But people don't pay attention to that. Because the only muscle you care about are the muscles to maintain your body, the physiques. You already know what your body is made of. When are you going to know what your mind is made of? The strength of it. You know, I'm noticing lately, there are kids out there, you know, with social media now. They are all trying their best, you know, doing their art, doing what it is they do as an outlet, exercising their skills and talents or whatnot. And then I'm also noticing other people not respecting or appreciating or just understanding where they're coming from with, you know, with that whole thing. And I think that's not appropriate. You know, just because you lack the willingness to understand somebody else's intentions or somebody else's, you know, talents and how it is they are trying to portray or share it with the universe, share it with the world. And because you don't understand that, you take it personal by trying to demean it. But then why? You know, and as I talk, I'm talking to that kid that was once me. It doesn't matter what part of this world you are. You know, I want you to know this. Stop thinking that anybody hates you, regardless of how much of that you feel. Remind yourself that you love you. That's the willingness you must do. Have the capacity to be willing to know that you love yourself enough to propel yourself out of the stage that you are. It's all about stages. It's all about ladders. You know, it's like if you're climbing the ladder. You know, personal development is kind of like that. So you climb one ladder at a time. I mean, there's no way you will ever try to skip and climb up to the 5th ladder at a time. That will never happen. You know this. There is no rush to it, provided there's consistency and intentions. You know? Provided there's consistency and intentions, the progress is always going to be there. If you are climbing to a 4-storied building and there are no elevators, you're always just going to go through the ladders, the stairs to go up, right? But you are going to step one stair at a time. But at no time do you step on one stair and then bring the next foot to the same stair. No. It's always next after the next, right? Next after the next. You see how quickly you're getting up. The challenge with this in life, with a lack of willingness to pursue, is this. People want to climb that ladder, they'll come to the next ladder and then they stay there. Because the first foot goes on it, the next foot comes and rests on there. Now, guess what that is? Rest. It's not warranted. Progress is supposed to be going. Just keep stepping on the next ladder and the next ladder and the next ladder. Just keep going. You know, that's how it's supposed to be. You know, so the willingness to do that, understanding that no, maybe I'm a little bit tired, but I have the willingness to take 2 more steps before tomorrow. So then tomorrow, you know, you don't have to start from where you stop, but always that progress going forward. Mentally though. The willingness to know that even when your physics, your body is tired and exhausted, mentally you're not. You know, I hear people always say, oh, I'm so mentally exhausted. I'm so mentally exhausted. Yes. Do you know why? That mental exhaustion is coming because it's always more junk going in. More junk going in. More junk going in. More junk going in. So then you wonder why you're mentally exhausted. Yeah, you've been piling in nothing but junk. The negativity. You know, the worrying and things of that nature, the fears and things of that nature, you know. Yo, who said it? Wayne Dyer said this. He says the ancestor to action is your thought process. The ancestors to action is a thought process. In that, when he said this, he meant that everything you see in this planet right now was started by a thought process. Everything and anything that a human made was started by a thought process. It doesn't matter whether it's a TV, a cell phone, a remote, whatever the case may be, even a wallet. It doesn't matter. A pen. It started with a thought process. Somebody thought about it, went and shared it, and then they came up with a plan and they brought it to life. But it came with a thought process. What are you thinking to bring about the difference in 20 years from today? How are you going to invite or manifest or believe, having the willingness to make a change, knowing that that change does not necessarily have to reflect today, but it will reflect in 10 years from now because the progress is ongoing. The willingness to grow, the willingness to teach yourself. I mean, you know, you do not want to wake up January 2021 and saying, you know, coronavirus came and made it impeded my progress. That will become an excuse. Because if the physical cannot get there, let the mind get there. The mind has to arrive there first anyway. You have to have the willingness to invite your mind there, right? You have the power to do that. You have the power to do it. So go ahead and do it. Be willing to do it though. Because it's just not going to come. You have to work hard at it. You know, it's not easy. Like if you catch myself, oh my goodness, it's so difficult for me to just get pissed, to get upset. Because I always have to fight. Man, I have to think about it. Is this necessary? If it's not going to make any difference, why? It will only show that or prove that I lack emotional management. That's about it. You know, but it works. So try what you can. You know, just like people go to the gym to train, you know, to challenge their body. I challenge you to start challenging your mind. You know, start with the willingness to know you, the willingness to love, the willingness to have a conversation, the willingness to defect even hate and all the worries and all of that. Throw all that junk away. You know, start focusing and directing your energy to those things that you're willing to do. Be intentional. You know, wish for them. Be intentional about it. Then continue the journey. Start pursuing it. You know, it will come to you. Okay? It will come to you, provided you believe in that. You believe in it. And don't spend time worrying about the negative. Always positive, 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 and keep going. It will come. It will come. It will come. It will come regardless of, despite how hard challenging it may seem right now. It's all a mindset. All right? My love, my life, my life, my love. Love, 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 love. Warrior Solution. You know, this is where we come and hang out and just a worry-free mindset. It is what it is. My love. Yeah, be safe.